He's not close enough.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Brody couldn't be here this evening. Is there a motion approving the minutes from the last public business meeting?
So moved.
Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I have a motion to add item 13 to the consent agenda to allocate $3,000 from the community promotion account to the Hooley Plunge in honor of its founder, Dr. Sean McCabe, who passed away on January 31st, 2021 from COVID complications.
Great. I'll make the motion. We add item 13. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that'll be item 13. And we do have another addition. Item 14 is a recordation tax exemption for the transfer of property from county commissioners to Berry Plastics. I'll make the motion. We add that as item 14. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Gentlemen, before we get started this evening, we lost one of our county employees this morning unexpectedly. Mark Blacker graduated from Fort Hill High School in 1973. Mark had 30 years of volunteer service and 8 years employment with the Allegany County Department of EMS. Mark started his career by joining Bowman's Addition in 1981 and obtained his EMT firefighter certification shortly after joining. Mark was a member of Bowling Green Fire Department from 1985 to 88 before going back to Bowman's Addition in 1996. Since 2013, Mark was employed by Allegany County's Department of EMS as a part-time EMT and driver. Mark then accepted a full-time position as firefighter EMT in 2017. Mike has held many positions in the volunteer system, including fire chief, president, and ambulance captain. Mark took pride in helping his community, volunteers, and fellow employees. Mark was dedicated to his community, employment, and his family. He leaves behind a wife of 45 years, Susan Blacker, 2 sons, Aaron and Justin Blacker, Justin's wife, Carrie Blacker, 3 grandchildren, Dayton and Anthony Blacker, and Gracie Cottrell, and a special friend, Zadian West. He was a good man, and it's a shame that we lost him this morning. So, for his family, we're very sorry for your loss. Okay. If we could just have a moment of silence for Mark tonight. Thank you. Okay. Item number 1 is one to our public hearings. It's a road opening petition. This involves the LaVale Library, and Mr. Dan DeWitt's here.
Evening, gentlemen. Evening, Linda. Appreciate the chance to be here. Have a matter of procedure here involving alley opening and eventual closing request as a part of our LaVale Library renovation and addition project. As part of the annotated code of Maryland, we've advertised this proposed road opening for 3 weeks in the newspaper, and would like to have a public hearing this evening to see if there's any comments. I've received none. I don't believe that Linda's received any either. I can answer any questions if there are any. At this point, Lee, is there anything else we need to do to make this an official hearing at this point?
Nope, this is just a public hearing, so if there's no public comment, then we'll have to advertise for a legislative date to enact the closure.
Dan, project on track?
Everything's going great.
We have a completion date, do we know?
Next summer,
Next summer.
18-month project, well underway. Everything's going well.
And the best kind of projects, 10% county, 90% state, right?
We like that ratio. That's
Very good. That's a good return. All righty. This is a public hearing. Is there any public comments? Okay. Hearing none. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Moving on to our action agenda tonight. Item 2 is Code Bill 2-21. It's an introduction, compensation for public officials. Attorney Beeman.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is introduction of Code Home Rule Bill 2-21. This is the Code Home Rule Bill that will enact the recommendations of the Salary Study Commission. As commissioners will recall, the Salary Study Commission met in the latter part of 2020. They presented to you their recommendations at a meeting in January of this year. This introduces the Code Home Rule Bill, which will enact those recommendations. In fact, this Code Home Rule Bill does exactly that. It's drafted in a manner to adopt the recommendations exactly as presented from the Salary Study Commission. And as this is an introduction, we'll have a legislative date in the future in which you would have the opportunity to take action on this.
Great. So this is the introduction. Do we need a motion to introduce it?
A motion to introduce, correct.
Great. Any discussion? Is there a motion to introduce it?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Thank you, Lee. Okay. Item number 3, it's approving the contract for a new assistant county attorney. We have Mr. Ramon Rosas here with us this evening. Welcome. Attorney Beeman, if you'd like to introduce Mr. Rosas.
Certainly, Commissioners. It's my pleasure this evening to introduce to you a candidate for the position of Assistant County Attorney, Mr. Ramon Rosas. Ramon is licensed in both Maryland and West Virginia. He's provided a great deal of assistance to the county during the time that I've been here working solo. He's handled a number of matters for us on a referral basis. So I was quite pleased to see his application when we advertised for the assistant county attorney basis. He does bring a breadth of experience to the office, practicing in both Maryland and West Virginia, handling a variety of civil and commercial matters and clients as part of his representation. So it's my honor tonight to request the approval of a contract to hire Mr. Rosas as the Assistant County Attorney.
Great. Ramon, we're looking forward to working with you. Please, if you would like to come up and say a few words.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the commissioners for considering my application, and I do look forward to working with Mr. Beeman and hopefully being able to help Allegheny County provide representation to the county and to the people. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the contract for Assistant County Attorney?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. And that'll get us back up to speed. We'll now be back with 2 attorneys, which we have been lacking since Mr. Rudd's passing. So a lot to get to. So. All righty. Item number 4 is the approval of an agreement with Manicorp LLC. Attorney Beeman.
Commissioners, as you recall, at a point in late 2020, you approved a contract of sale to transfer the Riverside, portions of the Riverside building to Manicorp, or as they're better known, Grow West. During the course of that contract of sale, a portion of the funding of that project was owner financed. Essentially, the county commissioners are holding a note that Manicorp is making monthly payments on. What Manicorp is asking for us to do here, what I'm seeking your approval for, is to subordinate our note behind a promissory note that they're seeking that will allow them to undertake their business expansion program. Essentially, what they're asking us to do is put our debt second in line behind the debt that's going to allow them to expand their program. It's a good economic development move, and I would ask the commissioners to approve the agreement to subordinate our note behind the new promissory note that they seek to obtain.
Great. And I know that project is well over $10 million, the expansion, and this will help spur even more growth and development back here at our business park facility. So I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to our consent agenda tonight, Administrator Bennett.
Commissioners, now 10 items on your consent agenda. Item 5 is the Scattered Sites Housing Program, approval of a $40,000 offer from TD Properties for purchase. Item 6 is the Allegheny County Community Enhancement Program, giving $155,000 to the City of Cumberland for Virginia Avenue project. Item 7 is surplus real property bid award. Flipping pages here. Item 8 is declaration of dedication to convey right-of-way. Item 9 is new dump trucks for our roads division award in the amount of $265,282 to Freightliner of Hagerstown. Item 10 is the approval of contract for legal services for Ron Pillai for the liquor board. Item 11 is the purchase of emergency medical services chase vehicle in the amount of $39,366. And item 12 is fiscal year 2018 Homeland Security Grant Program adjustment in the amount of $275,533. And then our two additions tonight. Item 13 is to authorize the commissioners to allocate $3,000 from the community promotion account to the Holy Plunge in the honor of Dr. McCah. And item 14 is recordation tax exemption of transfer of property from Board of County Commissioners to Berry Global Plastics.
Great. Gentlemen, is there any discussion? Commissioner Caparelli, did you want to say a few words about item 13?
Well, as we mentioned tonight, we wanted to remember a special member of our community, Sean McCah. It was Sean's vision that started the Holy Plunge and has raised over $1.5 million for Special Olympics and other programs for the developmentally disabled. The county will be providing a link on our website so that we ask and help in honoring his memory, and together we can keep his hopes, dreams, and memory alive in our community. As we stated at the beginning of the meeting, Allegany County will be donating $3,000 to the Holy Plunge in his name from our community fund. So, as we said, please continue to keep his family in your prayers. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. And
Commissioner Shade, if I just may, on item 14 that we've added, I'd just like to clarify for you that the exemption that we're talking about here isn't doing something out of the ordinary. This is merely just a pro forma approach to something that's already codified under state law, under the tax property article. This is just an administrative matter that's necessary for the clerk's office to properly document the exemption.
Okay, with Berry Plastics. All right, very good. That was well said, Commissioner Caparelli. We had a big loss to our community with Sean, and you know, he was someone who deeply cared about Allegany County and our future, and not only in his words but in his actions, and was someone who was reinvesting, and it's such a loss, and our thoughts are with Terry and the whole family. I'll say when they wanted to open 1812, there was no regulations for a brewery, for a farm brewery, and you know, Sean and Corey and all of them worked with us, and we got the regulations, and now it's spurred more, and without them, I don't know if there'd be any breweries in Allegany County. So it's quite a legacy, and it certainly shows the outpouring of support that the community's shown for his loss. So thank you for that. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Do we have any public statements tonight?
No
None?
public statements, no.
Okay. Administrator Bennett.
Just two quick things. As you guys know, we've been working on the restaurant grants that we got from the state of Maryland. We are getting ready to cut those checks. In the next couple days, we'll get those funds rolling out to restaurants. I think there's going to be approximately 50 grants going out the door. So there's more funds getting infused in the community. Hotel grant is also rolling along. We're still accepting. We just ended accepting applications for that. So we'll get that one going soon too.
And in total, I think that puts us close to $4 million of local grants, you know, not PPP, federal things, but local grants we've gotten out the door since the start of this pandemic. So
Correct.
At this time, has the application process also ended for the restaurants?
Yes.
It has,
Yes.
but not for the hotels?
Those funds quickly exhausted. So there was actually more requests than money we had. So yes.
I think in about 48 hours we were.
Yeah, it went quick.
The
Very
restaurant
quick.
grant was full. So thank you. Attorney Beeman.
Commissioner Caparelli, I just echo your thoughts about Sean. What a loss to the community. Every time you would see Sean, he always had a great story to tell, a big smile on his face. Just quite a loss for us.
Absolutely. Commissioner Caparelli?
Nothing to add, nothing else. Thank
Great.
you.
Mr. Rosas, welcome aboard. We look forward to your service. You know, the predecessors in your job served a long time, so I think the last one was here 15 years, and Bill was here 35 years, so pick
Get
your
used to that
poison.
seat.
There you go. Very good. And I'll also say I'd like to just express support any way we can for the Board of Ed. They're working to get students back to school. So anything that we can do, whether it's financial or helping on the logistics end with masks or health department or anything, the county's ready to work with the Board of Ed to make sure that goes smoothly here in the next month. So we're looking forward to students safely getting back to school, teachers having students in the classroom, and I think everyone's ready to start getting back to a little bit of normalcy in a safe way. So, okay. With that, our next public business meeting will be Thursday, February 25th at 5 o'clock. Thank you and have a good evening.